Instruction, golf news, equipment, travel, interviews, course profiles, and more. Your weekly fix of all things golf is about to begin. It's the Flagstick Podcast with your hosts, Jeff Potter and Scott Mccloud.
All right. It is the Flagstick Podcast. It is brought to you by Srixon Golf Balls. Whether you're looking for a premium urethane option in the Z-Star series, a quality budget option in the soft feel, or somewhere in between with the Q-Star Tour, Srixon Golf is bound to present an option that will work for your game. And trust me, I love this golf ball. For more information, visit srixon.ca. All right. With me, as always, on the Flagstick Podcast is my buddy, old pal, Scott Mccloud. Welcome and good day, Scott Mccloud.
How are you, man?
Oh, I'm living the dream, baby. Living the dream. I say
I'm
living the dream. I'm living the
dream.
dream, or I'm living in a dream. One or the other. Right. Sometimes I'm not sure, but let's say for the sake of argument today, I am living the dream.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know how that feels. Sometime it's been a busy last little while. I'm not sure when there's actually been a day off. Really, everything just keeps coming in a big blur this time of year.
Yeah, and I can't believe that we're getting into mid-August already. I mean, for me, this summer has been really, really a weird summer because I don't feel I haven't spent an exorbitant amount of time, I think, on feeling like I'm on Flagstick related stuff all the time. It's there's been a lot of personal stuff going on, and life gets busy. It's been dominating my days and my weeks, and it just feels like everything's just kind of flown by. I feel like I'm wearing the red suit with the lightning bolt on the front of it there, zoom, 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 zoom all the time. It's crazy. I mean, I'm happy that I actually have had an opportunity to play a little bit of golf, but not this last week. I haven't played much. Lots of people have played much.
Hey, I snuck in a little bit between events and things like that, but
I don't know how you managed that.
Oh man,
I really don't. I saw the schedule that you and Joe were working with, and I know Joe does a lot of extra work for the PGA of Ottawa, and that's not necessarily coverage per se, but he's there all the time at these events. And
you just got to get it in when you can. I mean, so I found, obviously, we'll get into it, what tournaments and things we're talking about, but after covering an event on the weekend, I stuck over the golf course and played 9 holes, I think, the next day. I don't know. It's all a blur at this point.
Again, that's it.
And then finished another event, and then I'll just sneak in another 9. And it's great. Even if you're just getting out for 9, I think people have to realize, and we've talked about it before here, is that, golf doesn't always have to be 18 holes. And, it's sort of, golf's always been a relief valve for me, and I know it is for a lot of other people. It's just that opportunity to go out, play a few holes, relax, kind of wind down, kind of forget about everything else that's going on. And I did manage, I think, the last 9 holes I played just the other day. I played a little cross-country golf.
I love cross-country golf. We used to do that at Bell Park Fairways in Kingston. My younger brother Sean and I used to do it all the time, especially on rainy days where nobody went and played anyway. And we go and Bell Park obviously as well as anybody, but we used to stand up on the number 2 tee, the black tee number 2, and we played down to number 7 green. Nice. As a really long par 4.
I was gonna say that'd be like a 750-yard par 4.
Yeah, but we used to, it was just insane the kinds of things that you could do, or it was just cross country golf was a lot of fun.
Well, it was fun. We were out. I had a chance to play with Noah Steele, who we've talked about here on the podcast before. Obviously, playing on PGA Tour Canada and won last year, and got tired of basically hitting 60 and 70-yard shots into a par 4. So we decided to change a tee box, and on the golf course we're at, we went back and played a par 3 tee box to this other par 4, and we created our own 492-yard par 4, which was more, what he'd face on tour or whatever. And it was fun. It was just something different, and brought me back to that childhood type things, which is fun to rekindle that every now and then.
Well, it is, because that's what we did, and it brings up the importance. I mean, I know we got topics to get to. It brings up the importance, I think, sometimes if you're close to a golf course, of being a member at that golf course. I know, for us here, being members at the Metcalfe golf course. And it's only, a 3-minute drive,
right.
from where we live. And it's only about a 5-minute drive for, a huge, massive part of the population in the Metcalfe Greeley area. But it allows us that opportunity of, having dinner at 6:00, finishing dinner at 6:30, grabbing the clubs and walking, riding over, driving over, whatever, and playing 4 or 5 holes. Or in the case of, my youngest son, Brandon, and I mean, we've gone over at 6:30 and played 11 or 12 holes. Sometimes you go and we played 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4, 7, 9.
Yeah, if you get an empty golf course, it's the greatest playground ever, right?
Yeah, exactly. And you're a member, so it's not like you're playing out a sequence is not costing you, the golf course operator any money, because you're paying for your golf. You've already paid for your golf. So how you play the course is really irrelevant as long as it's not disrupting anything. So yeah, that's one of the advantages of being a member at a golf course in someplace close, is being able to just jump out and play 9 holes really, really quickly if you want, or 6 holes or whatever.
Totally agree.
Well, we got another awesome show for everybody this week. On this episode, obviously a lot of tournaments and stuff still happening, so we got some wrap-ups to get to there, some biggies. You had a chance to sit down with a young local golfer by the name of Landon Touchette.
Correct.
Touchette, I got that right. Who recently marked a major milestone in his golf career, which is really extraordinary considering Landon's not that old to begin with.
He's only 10 years old.
To hit a major milestone in your career at his age is pretty extraordinary. But the interview is kind of cool, and I mean, I listened to it myself before we got on here, and very well spoken for his age.
He is, yeah.
So we got that a little bit later in the back nine. Plus, we're going to have a little bit of fun and product watch in this episode. We're not even going to give you a little tidbit. We're just saying we're going to have a little bit of fun, a little different angle and product watch. So you're definitely going to want to have to stay with us right through the back nine to get a little piece of that. But you know what? Let's get things started on the front nine, presented by Metcalfe Golf Club, a natural setting, a pleasant challenge. Looking for fun golf at a great rate? Save 15% when you prepay. Visit metcalfegolf.com. All right. So, as we alluded to, there's a lot of stuff still going on as far as tournaments, and a biggie on the Flagstick.com PGA of Ottawa Tour Zone Championship. Took place down in your neck of the woods at Loyalist Golf and Country Club in Bath, and a familiar faces all around with victories, but a little different flip on the format, or not the format, but the timing of things, with the afternoon and the morning tee times, and a little out of town zone championship, which was a little bit different, but it allowed for some more inclusion for some players that might not have played because of the travel, and a great golf course. But Joe was there doing some starting, as he always does for the zone events, and you were there in the coverage capacity, I will say. So let's get a little wrap up of the weekend.
36-hole championship, and as you alluded to, they kind of changed up the format a little bit. Played Sunday afternoon and then Monday morning, and that sort of compacted things a little bit. As you mentioned, down in Bath, Ontario, just west of Kingston, not far from where I am. But you know what? The zone has really been focused on, spreading out the tournaments this year, having some events sort of away from Ottawa. It's nice for the guys to kind of get away, and the girls too, if they happen to be playing, to get away from, the golf club, maybe have an overnight type of event, get away from their cell phones ringing from the golf course with the problem. Although I will tell you, there's some of them that, didn't have that happening during the event or whatever. But yeah, the format just was a little bit more compact, and it also allowed for a dinner on Sunday night, which has been about 3 years since we've had a zone dinner, and everybody had a chance to kind of sit at tables, have some chats, tell a few truths, tell a few lies, that sort of thing. I can tell you, I was out there pretty late. It was just a social event getting to see all the other players, getting to mix in with all the other pros and kind of see them. I think I got home at about midnight on Sunday night or whatever, but so did a few other players, which I'm surprised then by the quality of their play for sure. Lee Curry won the main zone title. That is his 7th time winning title, 6 in a row, which is a record for Canada. There was a gentleman who won 5 in a row in the PGA Atlantic zone years ago, but that is his 6th consecutive title, and it was a hard win. He basically had a nice lead after day 1, shot 68, but struggled a little bit on day 2, got off to a really slow start, and James Sperrick almost came in and caught him. And it actually required Lee to make a birdie on the 18th, the last hole, which he was able to get up near the green in 2, hit a little hybrid out of the fringe down to about 4 feet or so, and make that putt. And for a 4-foot putt, it meant a lot for him, obviously avoiding the playoff. And we posted some videos of that on our social media platforms on Twitter and Instagram, and I think it's up to like 6,000 or 7,000 views already. Nice. Just for that one little putt. But Lee was obviously pretty excited about that, and you can read his comments on flagstick.com and talking about the whole situation. And then over in the senior division, Graham Gunn picked up his, I think, 3rd in a row for the senior division of that zone championship. Played very well. Danny Lacombe almost caught him on day 2. As Danny said, I had him, I didn't have him, I lost him, I had him again, then I lost him all the way. Danny closed with a 200 round on the 2nd day. I think he had 6 birdies on his front 9.
He's insane. I mean, you can speak to this too, because we've had him.
I play.
He is the guy at the Ping Challenge Cup every year. He never plays enough events to qualify.
Right.
But he subs in when guys aren't able to make it. He's last minute entries. Like he's been a ping pick before. Yeah. But when he's awesome. He's such a good player, and he doesn't play. Steady. Like that's the thing. Like this is a guy that just for him to be in contention in an event like this, and to play as well as he does with so little golf that he does actually play, and I'm pretty sure he probably doesn't get a lot of time to practice either, given his role, with Club Link. It's extraordinary. I mean, hats off to Graham for sure. Once again, but just kudos to Danny for being in contention in a zone championship event, and even if it is in the senior category. I mean, it's still wow, Danny, way to go, bud.
It was good stuff. And also it was nice to see Keith Riley down there as well from Mint Green Group, Cleveland's Rixon Nike Golf. They were the presenting sponsor for the event itself. Opportunity came for them to get involved with the zone, and they stepped in and did that. So kudos for them for that. And as always, our good friend Carol Ann did a fabulous job, our executive director for the zone, getting things organized. And it was a good time. Everybody really enjoyed it, and it was a fun 36 hours was what it amounted to. So
bit of a whirlwind for sure.
Yeah,
no question about that.
Yeah.
Next up for the Flagstick.com PGA of Ottawa Tour would be I know the Ping Challenge Cup is coming up.
Fall championship.
So the fall championship is coming up. And I think that's the last opportunity for them to get points.
Correct.
To make the one of the 2 Ping Challenge Cup teams, whether it's the head pros or the assistant pros. So kind of like the Wyndham Championship being the last opportunity for the PGA Tour guys to bump themselves up into the top 125 in the FedEx Cup and punch their ticket to the playoffs. Well, this is the and to get their eyeballs on them for the President's Cup this year. So this is kind of the Flagstick. The Ping Challenge Cup is sort of the Ryder Cup of the zone.
Yeah, for people that don't know. Yeah,
and the guys achieve points all year long on the tour in an effort to make one of those teams. And the fall championship will be their last opportunity to get some much needed points to get onto the Ping Challenge Cup team. So
you got it.
And then after that, we get to do our thing under the new format this year, which is going to be fun. The 2-day format.
Yeah, should be fun over at Highlands.
All right, but that wasn't the only thing that you had that you were mucking around doing on the weekend. You had a very long-standing amateur tournament in the Kingston area. I played in it myself once.
Yeah.
And the 81st Wake Standard Championship took place at the Cataract Way Golf and Country Club, and geez, you were there.
Shocking. So that was on Saturday, and it's 36 holes. And first off, kudos to the 68 players in the field who played in horrendous heat. Even the fittest, youngest players, went from walking in the first 18 to going, man, I need to take a card for the second 18.
Yeah.
The heat was pretty oppressive, but that said, the quality of play was great. So again, as I mentioned, 36 holes on a single day. Caden Holmes of Napanee led after round one. There was 4 players that had rounds in the 60s. It's a par 70 golf course there after the first 18. And I'll tell you what, for players that were dealing with the heat, there were 13 rounds in the 60s in the second round. So it was certainly a big competition in the second round to kind of see where everybody was at. I know I was juggling back and forth between groups, and the one group that I followed, Brad Ravel, Daniel Abraha, and Hayden Underhill were 10 under collectively.
Wow.
in the second round. And Hayden was chasing Clayton Presson. Clayton ended up winning it 70-65. Hayden unfortunately made a double bogey on 15, came back with 2 birdies on 16 and 17, was left a 4-footer on 18, but it wouldn't have mattered anyways. His 4-footer would have only got him to 4 under. So he won second by retrogression over Ryan Sevigny of Eagle Creek. But a great win for Clayton.
Yeah.
He literally said, I asked him, hey, have you won much of late? And he's like, I think it's been 8 or 9 years. And I think the last win was at the Smuggler Shootout.
Wow.
So, he won back-to-back titles back in the day, 9 and 10 years ago at the Smuggler Shootout. That was his last big win.
And that was back when he was in college, though, wasn't it?
He was at Limestone down in the States then. Obviously, he's 29 now, but
not in college anymore.
No, he said he's not been playing a lot, but he's been playing well, so he wasn't surprised. And it was kind of funny. We were just chatting after, he won the tournament, and I asked him a little bit about adding his name to this trophy, which obviously after, 81 years has had some great names on it, some of the top amateurs in Canada. And I listed off about 4 names. He's like, I have no idea who any of those people are. So it's like either I'm old or he just doesn't, it's not a big deal for him to look at that history of it. He just went out and played his best and got the title. So good on him for doing that. And the other side of it, I said, does this motivate you to, play more? And he's like, nope, not one bit. I like what I'm doing. I'll just play as much as I can, and that's about it. And he was just excited to win. But it wasn't exactly pushing him to play a lot more golf tournaments. So
no, I know it always, for whatever reason, he always seems to have a conflict on the dates of the Flagstick Open, because I know he really he has played in that before as well, and he wants to, but it always seems to be that either we move the date to a date when he's not available, or it's on the date the long weekend that he's not available. So maybe that'll change, now that he's got a victory. Now maybe he'll make it a point of being at the Flagstick Open.
Well, I bugged him that maybe he should grab a partner and play in the 2-ball on September 10th, 11th. So who knows? Maybe he'll show up there.
We'll talk more about the 2-ball later, but people,
definitely.
If you're listening, if you're watching, sign up for the 2-ball. It's going to be a fun fall event. Now the OVGA's continuing to kind of work through the back half of their season, and with the city and district championships and so on out of the way, we're now looking at the OVGA match play championship, and that took place, and we've got some results.
Yeah, so that finished up yesterday at the Canadian Golf and Country Club out in Ashton, the west end of Ottawa. Some good matches, despite the golf course being a little wet from Monday's rain. Jonah O'Connor who obviously was contending and at our Flagstick Open. He ended up winning the A class, the men's. He won that over Brad Goodman. So that's Joan O'Connor from Renfrew. And then John Taylor won the senior men's over Peter Harrison. John Taylor plays out of Equinell, Peter Harrison at Ottawa Hunt. And Diane Dolan of Highlands beat out Terry DeLewis of Brockville Golf and Country Club to win the women's title. So good
Talk
matches
about
there.
legends in the game, right there.
Really,
right?
very
Like,
much. Yeah.
Diane and Terry, like that's
They won
that's as good as it gets right there.
Yeah. They've certainly won a lot of trophies over the years. This is a trophy that, you know, they both earned before, and so it was nice for them to battle for it. And we even had a funny picture of them like sort of having the trophy, and they were trying to pull it apart from each other.
That's funny.
But if you want more details on that, obviously flagstick.com, we've got the full story. I just posted that up there, and some pictures as well up on our Instagram page.
Awesome. All right. Well, unfortunately, there were a couple of events that had to be canceled. The OVGA, obviously, the Ethel Ferguson had to be canceled at Rivermead. A little bit of a power and weather issue over there.
They were doing some renovation work, so they didn't have power for the clubhouse, and then with the rain and weather, they decided just to cancel it. I'm not sure if there's going to be a makeup date for that yet. I have not heard, but we'll let you know on that one.
And the Play Junior Golf Tour, which obviously we're a big part of as a media partner. The Brad Fitch Junior Classic at Carleton also got canceled due to weather, unfortunately. Because that's one of the ones that the kids look forward to at Carleton. Being sponsored sort of in part with and having Brad's name attached to it. Brad obviously was a member at Carleton, a junior member at Carleton for quite a while. So unfortunately that did have to get canceled due to the weather. The weather sucked. It was I mean, we're mentioning 2 tournaments that got canceled due to weather, but
there's a lot more than that.
There's a lot more canceled due to the weather than just those 2 tournaments. There's a lot of stuff canceled. Courses were closed. The rain, I don't know.
You got in Ottawa. We got lucky down in south, so everybody sort of along the river and down in the Seaway area, they sort of missed most of it. So lucky for them, but unfortunately in Ottawa and the Ottawa Valley, some of that rain sort of hampered things.
I mean, I was heading out we were getting all that rain. I was heading out to head to Shoppers Drug Mart, and I drive down to the end of my driveway, which is a fairly long driveway, and through the sort of trees. And don't come across the tree laying across.
Oh, wow.
Right across my driveway, there's a tree laying right across it. I'm like, oh, well, that's interesting. I pick up the tree and, and
well, there were some microbursts that came through, and I know there were some that affected aforementioned Danny Lacombe. We were down at the zone championship, and he showed me some pictures of just the neighborhoods not far from Canada Golf and Country Club, and there was definitely some trees and things down there. And then at the same time, Cameron Golf from Carleton was showing us some photos of how flooded the golf course was there. Insane. So not surprised of what happened for the golf course and the interference. And generally short of the that May long weekend and so forth, we've had a pretty good summer weather-wise. So
yes, definitely. Okay, just a couple more things we want to get to before we take our quick break and shove onto the back nine. We said as things progressed with the CP Women's Open that we would continue to update on this podcast. Obviously, we're updating on the website at flagstick.com, but updates on the CP Women's Open, more commitments from players on the tour to attend. And obviously we know Brooke Henderson's going to be there, but we got some other top players that are going to be showing up as well, don't we?
Yeah, actually, we're going to have all 5 major champions from 2022 will be in attendance, have confirmed. So obviously they can promote that as well. Not that they need a lot of promotion as far as ticket sales. I know they're going quite well, but it's just a reminder to people of how much of a quality field there is for this event, and the fact that they have an opportunity to see it in their backyard I've talked to a fair number of people that are making the trip, going to be up for the week, a few days or so forth. But other people definitely don't miss this. Minji Lee, Inji Chung, Ashley Buhai, who just won the Women's Open, Jennifer Kupcho, and then, of course, Brooke Henderson are all slated for the field. So you don't necessarily see that on the men's side. You get all 4 major championships or champion winners in an event, unless it's a major, unless it's the Players Championship or the playoffs. So great opportunity for a regular season event to have those 5 champions in the field.
Yeah, that was quite the women's Open Championship finale.
Yeah.
That was exciting. I mean, I never like to see a player
back up,
give up a lead. Like they start with a 5-shot lead, or you're 3 holes to play, you've got, or 4 holes to play, you got a 3-shot lead, and with 3 holes to play, you don't got a lead.
Yeah,
it's like, what the heck just happened here? Yeah, but you know what? It's not exciting for the player to go through that, because I'm sure she much rather stick to the 5-shot lead with 3 to play. Yeah. Especially at an Open Championship, especially at Muirfield. You know, because stuff happens in a hurry on these Open Championship courses. But it's exciting for the fans watching in attendance, and you know, obviously on TV. It's like, oh wow, you know, that changed in a real hurry, and what's going on here? Okay, this is great. We got a playoff. This is wow.
Well, that was interesting, because obviously we're at the Zone Championship, so checking the scoreboard was sort of intermittent. So every time I looked, I had to, is this scoreboard actually right? Because how things were changing really quickly. Brooke obviously tied for 7th there as well. We should mention that, obviously, in Eastern Ontario.
Good backup after winning a major to you know, getting a top 10. But she's very focused. I mean, I'm sure that she's not taking anything away from the Women's Open Championship, but I'm sure she's looking forward to getting that done and getting over here and getting settled and getting practice in and prepared, because you know, I know she's won the CP Women's Open, but she didn't win it here, and I'm sure that is like she come close. But I'm sure that that's a major circle on her calendar this year, is that this is the one, and she's in a good position with her game right now, definitely. And she's already home now, and she's got a special event they're putting on at Smith Falls, which is a closed event. So I'm not going to disclose any more details, but you know, there's a closed event that they're putting on. I believe it's involved with her charity, and you know, she's already home and preparing, and you know, there's a bit of a lead up here to the Open, but she's getting her rest and getting prepared, and you know, she wants to win that here in Ottawa. So and quick other ad there for the CP Women's Open. I think you're going to get to that, but I'll just mention it quickly. Caddies are still needed for the Pro-Ams, the Monday Foundation Pro-Am and the Championship Pro-Am. We have details of that up at flagstick.com. There's a $50 compensation, but I don't think it's about the $50 if you go and it shouldn't
be caddy in those events. Again, this is for the Pro-Am and the Foundation Pro-Am. You're caddying for amateurs. You're not caddying for tour players, just to let you know.
Yeah, they got caddies.
Right. But here's an opportunity to get inside the ropes, walk the fairways the week of the tournament. You know, junior golfer, avid golfer, non-golfer with an interest. You do have to apply, and you know, you have to basically give your experience and things like that and sign up for it. But still a fun way to get involved with the CP Women's Open this year. Okay.
All right. Last thing before we take a break is we just wanted to bring we wanted to get a little shout out to ourselves about the Flagstick 2-ball championship, which is coming up September 10th and 11th at the Brockville Country Club. And this event is a team event, and it's a Stableford combined score Stableford event. So basically, so people understand how this works, you get a partner, whoever you want, and it doesn't really matter what their index is. And you come out, you play. You're going to be put into, based on the number of people in the tournament, the number of players in the tournament will divide the field evenly, and your total team index will determine which division you go into. All teams will be playing from the same tees, which means that all teams, regardless of division, are eligible to win the Stanley Thompson Trophy, which is the overall winner. And that's why we're doing it that way. So if you're a 2, you want to play with a 20, have at it. The Stableford point system is what we're using to kind of, rather than a net tournament, this is not a net tournament. This is a gross tournament. So your index only divides you into your division. The Stableford scoring system is designed to kind of balance out that high-low index method where you can't lose more than, I think, 1 point for a bogey.
For a double.
You get 0 points for a bogey and 1 point for a par. Under our, standard Stableford system is different. This is designed that it's a fun but competitive event. We want to encourage higher and lower handicaps to be able to play together, and this is the best way to be able to do that, to ensure that it's a balanced field. You can win your division or you can win the overall. We've got right now teams signed up that have a total combined index of 40, and we've got teams signed up that have a total combined index of 1. But it really doesn't matter. You got to make a whole lot of pars and birdies to get a lot of points, but you won't lose. And that's the big thing, is like higher index players probably make more bogeys than lower index players, but you're not losing anything for a bogey. So just as a team, it's your combined scores. So you both get your Stableford points, and those two combined Stableford point scores together will determine what your total team score is. It's a 2-day event. There's a meal after the Saturday round, and prizes after the Sunday round. Great registration gifting. Right now, everybody is going to get a level wear quarter zip pullover, kind of like this one here. A level wear golf cap. A limited edition Flagstick head cover, driver head cover, and a pair of Sundog sunglasses, just for participating.
Nice. So
for your $430 team entry, $215 each, you're getting 2 rounds of golf, a meal, range balls both days for warming up, a registration gift, and a great weekend of golf. Like, it's much like the Flagstick Open, but the Flagstick Open is our flagship event, or our Flagstick event, and it's always going to be here when it comes to the level of the event. The Flagstick 2-ball is like here.
The biggest thing is it's designed because it's fall. We wanted to have a fun event, a social event, something, you've got a partner, so that there's a little less nervousness, because it's not always dependent upon you. The point system is obviously set up, so as you said, you make a bogey, you're still getting a point out of it, so it's not a big loss that way. But it also allows you to be aggressive as a team and get big rewards for making birdies or eagles or things like that, and then combine and get there. So it should be fun, very social yet competitive, and like you said, it's got all the great elements that we have from the Flagstick Open, with swag and dinner and things like that. It should just be a great time, and a fun opportunity for players that they're talking about wanting to have tournaments. We're bringing you a tournament, so get signed up.
We're trying
limited spots there. So grab them when you can and get signed up ASAP.
You can go to flagstick2ball.com, or you can go to flagstick.com and get through the Flagstick events link there, either or. Get signed up. We do have to cut this off in the next week and a half. We literally have to cut it off, because we have to order the clothing based on your registration shirt size. So we can't wait until the last minute, because then we won't have a shirt for you. So get your registration in now, and see us in the fall at the Flagstick 2-ball championship. All right. We got to get out for a quick little break, pay some bills. And when we get back, we are going to have that interview conversation that Scott had with Landon Touchette. We're going to have a little product watch segment. Like I said, it's going to be a little bit more of a fun product watch segment, and I think you're going to enjoy it. So stick with us. We will be right back.
With Z-Star Series Divide, Hideki sees it all. See? There's the spin, and boom, that's the line. Introducing the two-tone Z-Star Series Divide, only from Srixon.
All right, and we're back here on the Flagstick podcast, and it is that time in the podcast where we try to help you improve your golf game, or at least make it more tolerable.
I like it.
Tolerable. And we have the right person to help you do that, and that is Kevin Hames. So without further ado, let's head out to the lesson tee, which is brought to you by the Kevin Hames Golf School. It's always the right time to play better golf, whether you need private lessons, a better short game, some putting help, or even a custom club fitting. Visit kevinhames.com, and remember that better golf is a lot more fun. Let's head to the lesson tee and see what Kevin and the Kevin Hames Golf School have in store for us this week.
All right, golfers, Jay came here with a quick tip on why addressing the ball with a very tight lead shoulder, trying to keep your arm straight, is a bad idea. We see this all the time. People set up to the golf ball with this lead shoulder very high, trying to keep this arm too straight, and it causes three main problems. Number one, it makes me incredibly tense, which makes it very hard to swing athletically and create a full wind in my backswing. Number two, lifting my shoulder like that moves my hands up and forward, which will make it harder to swing them like I want to in my golf swing, as my setup is now out of position. And number three, tensing up and lifting that shoulder also sets my shoulder plane very angled, which will make it harder to turn properly, and it'll get my shoulders too level in my backswing. If you want to avoid this problem, relax a little bit. Allow your shoulder to drop, let the air to your body a little bit. You want to keep that lead shoulder more in line with your throat than you do with your lead ear. If you make a more relaxed setup, it is much easier to keep your hands in the proper place, reduce tension in your golf swing, and make a better turn in your backswing, which will make you a better golfer.
Well, like many of Kevin's tips, pretty self-explanatory there. I don't think that there's a whole lot that either one of us can add. So there you go. We're going to move right through to the back nine here. And the back nine is presented this week by Golf Sim Gurus. Work on your game all year round in the privacy of your own home. Custom golf simulators built to your specs and to fit your budget. Visit golfsimgurus.ca to learn more. And Scott, to start things off on the back nine, we mentioned earlier on that we had this little interview that you did with Landon Touchette, and 10-year-old kid. And we mentioned that he'd done something major milestone in his career. So you know what? I'm out. You set this interview up, and let's see what this major milestone is all about.
Yeah, I joked yesterday on Twitter. I said, "Oh, tomorrow on the Flagstick podcast this week, we're going to have a legal panel that's going to be here to talk about the legalities of LIV versus the PGA Tour, or we're going to have something fun and something that really matters in the game of golf, which is a 10-year-old celebrating his first hole-in-one, which is fabulous." So this happened in June. I got together with Landon soon after that, did a little Zoom call, little interview with him. He was new to it, but it made it fun, and great kid. Nice to see. Landon plays at the Metcalf Golf and Country Club just around the corner from you, and it was fun to do this interview. And I said at the time, it's always great to go and interview the top tour players in the world, but there's nothing like the joy of a young golfer. So here's my interview with Landon Touchette. All right, we're joined here by Landon Touchette. First off, Landon, let's introduce yourself. You're obviously a young golfer from Eastern Ontario. Where are you from?
I'm from Russell, Ontario, and I just outside of Ottawa, and I golf at Metcalf Golf Country Club. I've been playing there for this is my second year playing there. My third year golfing, and I played at Castleview before, but I left that course, and now I'm at Metcalf.
Well, you've been playing lots of good golf I've seen lately. I've managed to write your name more than a few times, especially in the Play Junior Golf Tour tournaments. You've been having some success in the last little while?
Yeah, I've been having some success. I've been winning some tournaments. It's because I think I've just been scoring well, shooting, getting some good putts, driving well, and hitting some good irons onto the greens.
Well, you obviously love the game. Do you practice a lot?
Yeah, I practice a lot on my course, and I do a lot of practice at my tournaments. For an hour, I just go straight practicing the speed of the greens and all that. Then I go to the range for a few minutes, just try and get the consistency, and
Awesome. Well, I guess one of the big things why we're having this call today is you've had a quite an occasion, something that's happened to you that normally doesn't happen to a lot of people during their golf career, let alone at the age of 10. Why don't you tell us a little bit about the big shot for you earlier this year?
Yeah, so I was 115 yards out. It was on the 17th hole.
Okay, this is at Metcalf. This is your home course.
Yeah. And then my dad and aunt were there with me, and I was using a pitching wedge. The weather, it was a lot of wind on my back, so I had to club down about 2 clubs down to a pitching wedge, and then I just landed it in the middle. The wind took it to the middle, and then it just rolled right into the hole. And that's whenever all the excitement came.
Did you have any idea when it was kind of rolling towards the hole? Did you think it was possibly going to go in, or did you just think it was going to get close, or what were your thoughts at the time?
I was just thinking if it was just going near, then I had like maybe a 10-foot putt for a birdie, and then, but it just kept rolling up the hill because it's all uphill, that green, and it just kept rolling and rolling into the hole. Then after that, I was just unbelieved that I actually got it.
So you could actually see it rolling into the hole.
Yeah, I saw it roll into the hole. I didn't think it'd actually go in. I just tried to hit a nice shot, and I did, and then it just went into the hole, took the break perfectly.
Did you believe it at first, or were you just in shock that it actually had happened?
I was shocked. Then after, whenever I walked up to the green, I looked in the hole and it was there. So, and after that, I actually knew that I actually got the hole in one, and not just, it just rolled off the back.
And what was your reaction like? How did you celebrate, like, right away? Was it a big scream, jump up and down? Were you dancing, or what was the deal?
Well, I didn't really celebrate that much, but I had another hole left, so I had to like keep all my emotions together. But my dad was just so excited. Then on the last hole I got a par, so yeah, it was just needed to keep all my emotions together to try and not have a bad hole on the 18th.
Did you realize or know how rare a hole-in-one is as far as the odds of it, or anything like that? Or did you sort of just expect at some point in your golf career, your long golf career now, that, you would get a hole-in-one?
Yeah, that's what I was expecting, just in my long golf career, just trying to I'd get a hole-in-one, but then my dad looked it up, and then he's like, the odds are pretty low to get a hole-in-one in your golf career, because it's like a 1 against like maybe
13,000. Yeah, exactly. So what's your expectation now? I mean, you've made one. Are you expecting the golf ball to go in the hole every time when you play a par 3 now, or how do you think about par 3s now? A little bit differently?
I think now I'm expecting to get more near the hole shots, and then maybe like 30-foot putts. I'm expecting more 20-footers now, 20, 15, 10. So, yeah.
Well, that's pretty exciting, that's for sure. Now, has other people in your family, like, has your dad had a hole-in-one, or are you the first one kind of in your family to have one?
I think I can't think of anyone that's ever got one. So I think, yeah.
You're the leader in the clubhouse for the family.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, what have you got left for the year? Obviously, you're going to play some more tournaments, obviously try to make some more hole-in-ones. What have you got going for your schedule for the rest of the year?
My schedule is I'm going to Chilliam Wood on the 14th.
Okay.
Then after that, there's another tournament that I'll miss because I'm going to be at Halifax. But there's going to be then the tournament after that I'll be playing in 25th. Then the 28th I'll be playing at.
Nice.
And then the rest of August I'll be playing at those tournaments too.
Awesome. Well, best of luck. I'm looking forward to writing your name more times, and maybe we'll catch up at one of the Play Junior Golf Tour events or something else in the future. I mean, hey, yeah. I did a coverage yesterday of a 14-year-old winning the Ontario Women's Amateur. So, maybe you'll get one of those big trophies in the future.
Yeah, maybe.
Or-
That's hopes.
Is that the goal?
Yep, that's the goal, to get some trophies, try and win the One Capital Cup, and yeah.
Awesome. Well, certainly best of luck, and thanks for joining us and having a chat about it. And congratulations again on your hole-in-one.
Thanks.
Wow.
Fun, eh?
Pretty well spoken for a
Yeah.
10-year-old being interviewed by a esteemed golf journalist as yourself. That'd be a little intimidating for sure, but he handled that well, and
He
what
did.
what a great young kid, and what a
Yeah.
great milestone to achieve at 10 years old.
Yeah. I don't know about you, but at 10, I was just starting to play. I wasn't thinking about making a 1. I mean, I might have been thinking about making a 1, but that didn't happen until I was 25, I think. Yeah.
Yeah,
For
well,
you?
we all know my 2 hole-in-ones in my career that, one we couldn't talk about, and the other one I didn't even see. So, whatever.
Yeah. Anyways,
Awesome.
Congratulations to Landon. That was
Yes,
awesome.
congratulations to Landon. And if you've got some golf stories that you want to share with us, that you would like us to share with our massive listening and viewing audience here on the Flagstick podcast, just reach out to Scott or myself through flagstick.com. Email addresses are up there, and we're happy to talk about these stories. It's kind of,
Yeah, for sure.
the show's a little bit about everything. It's
Mhm.
not just about local stuff, but local stuff is a big part of it, and we like to talk about those things. So, hey, reach out to us, and we'll
Sure.
reach back out to you. So, all right. We also mentioned off the top of the podcast that we were going to do something a little bit different on Product Watch, and this week's Product Watch obviously brought to you by Greensmere Golf and Country Club. Save 40% on all daily green fee rates with FlexPass for only $425 plus tax. Visit greensmere.com for more information. And so we said we were going to, and I love this. I mean, you're like you're like the guru of great back 9 topics, because you've had some doozies the last few episodes, and this is another really cool one.
But I'll tell you why this came up.
Because we don't want to talk about freaking live golf.
Well, no, what really happened was, I happened to talking to a golfer, somebody that was new to the game, an emerging golfer, and they sort of asked the question, hey, what do you carry in your golf bag when you're out on the golf course? Because again, they're an emerging player, they have tees, they have golf balls, but they said they noticed a lot of players, dig in their golf bag and pull some stuff out, other stuff out, and they kind of wondered why all that stuff was there. And then, obviously as a PGA of Canada professional, that was sort of the idea there is like, hey, you're a golf pro. What do you carry in your bag? So I thought this might be, not so much about us from a, hey, I carry this, but more educational as far as what might be in the bag of an experienced player, an experienced amateur, or a club professional.
That's kind of cool. You could instead of the segment being entitled "What's in Your Bag," it could be entitled "What Else Is in Your Bag."
Yeah, because we're not talking about equipment here.
No,
as far as
we don't care if you got a wedge and a putter and a driver and a hybrid.
No.
Could care less. This is about what else is in your bag.
Which is a lot,
non-club related stuff. And when you brought this topic up, I'm like, what exactly?
What is in my bag?
What do I normally carry? Now, I'm not going to mention what I found in my bag. I will mention specifically, some non-golf related, non-club related items that are in my bag. But what I found in my bag are, is completely different, because I don't play often enough to empty it out all the time. So there was some interesting stuff in there. But for you, what
where do I want to start?
What do you have in there? What do you normally put in there when you go to play around a golf?
Well, I think the biggest thing, first of all, is as I went and looked at this list, I also realized why my golf bag is so heavy and why there's so much in it.
I know why mine's so light.
Yeah. And I mean, I look at it in different ways. I look at it, I don't always go to the golf course to play. I sometimes go to the golf course to practice. It's different as far as a teaching bag, which, might be a topic for another another show is to show you how many million things I have in a teaching bag, which is somewhat insane when people see me walk from the parking lot to the tee. But let's start with the basics. Obviously, things like golf balls are important. I generally have 2 to 3 gloves in there, which is, this time of year, obviously it's hot. So it's really easy to sweat through gloves. I carry about a dozen balls. I don't know how many you carry in your golf bag, but for some reason, even though I might not go through them, I'm obviously trying to play one. I somehow always just have to have kind of a dozen in there. And I will tell you, from a numbering perspective, obviously they kind of vary. It's usually 6 of one number, 6 of another, and that's just for the situation of playing provisionals and stuff like that. 2 Sharpies. I have a black one and an orange one that's in there, again, for the sake of regular play or a provisional ball. Always mark those golf balls beforehand. I've marked my golf balls the exact same way, I think, since I'm about 17.
3 little dots over the number in the golf ball.
You know where it goes. 3 little dots in 3 places and a line through where it has the branding on the side. So that's just the way that I do it. Obviously, tees. I still have a valuables pouch from the Smugglers Shootout.
Wow.
That was one of our gifts years ago, and I still have that in there. And obviously
those are awesome.
They were, and that contains a number of things, your pitch mark repair tools, some pencils. I have a yardage book cover in there, spare coins. I have a wrench that's in there. Then
it's kind of like a mainstay nowadays for anybody.
Yeah, you have
modern day driver. You've got to have a wrench.
Yeah, for sure. And then the coins that I have in there, sort of a spare coins. I usually have foreign coins in there. For some reason, they just kind of a reminder as far as using them specifically, because otherwise in the day, not that we spend a lot of cash these days, but back in the day when you had coins, you just use it to spend. But I found if I put in foreign change in there, whether it was American or a Balboa from Panama or some other UK currency or something like that, I probably wouldn't spend it and I would just use it for the marker. So why don't you get started on what you have in there, because I'm getting into some other odds and ends after that are a little different than just some of the traditional stuff that a lot of other people might have in there.
All right. Generally speaking, I have 2 gloves in the bag, both used gloves or currently in use gloves. And I also have 1 brand new glove still in the package.
Okay.
A dozen balls. I'll say a dozen balls, but honestly, I'm not sure if there's a dozen in there or not. It could be more, it could be less. None of them are marked. If I'm playing tournament golf, I mark my golf balls. If I'm not playing tournament golf, I generally am pretty lazy.
And what was that last tournament that you played in?
The last tournament? Oh my gosh.
Probably a club championship, maybe, or something.
The club oh my gosh.
Club championship? I don't know.
God, I mean, I played in the old Ottawa Citizen Amateur Championship back when
hasn't been
John
around
McConnell,
for like 10 years, dude.
Was that long ago?
Yeah.
And I don't think. Oh, wait a minute. No, the last tournament that the actual single person event I played in would have been the BCC Open.
Oh yeah, when I caddied for you.
Yeah, you caddied for me, and I think I barely made it through round 2. It was rainy. It was nasty.
I think I barely made it through round 2 because I had some back issues.
Yes, that's true. Sharpie blue. I have a blue Sharpie. Handful of tees. I don't really know how much. I buy a bag of tees and stick them in my golf bag, or I dump a bunch in there. I have my Wizard of Ads ball marker. Yeah, my Wizard of Ads. It's a gold ball marker, says Wizard of Ads on it. It's not really, it was kind of like a self-titled, because I'm an advertising guy, so the Wizard of Ads, but it was for somebody, it was somebody else, but I use it. I got a paper clip.
What?
Yeah, I got a paper clip in there.
Why do you have a paper clip?
So I can pop the SIM card out of my phone back in the. I still carry a paper clip. I don't know why.
How do you even remember that you have a paper clip in there?
I don't know. I have a paper. Do other people not have paper clips in their golf?
I don't know. People, you can comment below. Yeah. People, if like, I'd like to hear what people have in their bag.
Yeah,
and how many of them actually have and how many people actually have a paper clip in their
I think you'd be
bag.
surprised. I think you'll be
Oh, I'm
surprised how many
sure,
people have a
100%.
paper clip.
Yeah,
I have a wrench. Like I said, most people nowadays probably have a
Sure.
wrench to adjust the. So because you got to be able to adjust the loft and lie of those drivers to correct things as they're going wrong. No, okay.
No, between
But
ones.
I have a wrench. I got to pull over, usually a little quarter zip pull over, much like the
Right.
level wear one that I'm wearing right now.
Mhm.
That you'll get if you play in the Flagstick 2-ball. But I carry a pullover because it gets cold.
Yeah.
So you got to have something. I got a bucket hat in there.
A bucket hat in
Yeah,
there.
a bucket hat. The bucket hat.
I wear one.
I
but
don't know. I don't know
necessarily-
why it's in my. I keep it in my golf bag. I've always had a bucket hat. I don't know if it's the rain one. It's my old Cobra one.
Oh.
I don't know not Cobra, Greg Norman one. It's black. It's a rain one. I
In case you
guess
need to get a cup of
crumples.
soup at the turn or what?
I don't know. There's no spoons in my golf bag.
All right.
I always carry water, obviously, and granola bars when I play.
Yeah.
And there's a rain hood from the Smugglers, from the Flagstick, old Flagstick shootout. Have the rain hood that we got.
C4 one back in the day. when C4 existed.
I have a pair of socks.
Did you just go and dig in your bag to see what was in there? And you
No,
found a pair of socks?
I
Or is it something
honestly
you actually
no.
carry all the
These
time?
are things. These
It's
are
actually
things.
not a bad idea, really.
I'm telling you, these are things that I have in my golf bag all the time.
So now I know why my back hurt when I actually carried for
Yes.
you. Okay.
It's not the
Fair
golf
enough.
balls. It's the fact that I brought half my dresser with me. I
Apparently.
carry socks because, hot days, your feet get sweaty,
Sure.
or your feet get tired. It's nice to put on a fresh pair of socks. So I started carrying a pair of socks when I first started playing a little bit more tournament golf, probably about 12 years ago.
Okay.
And I started carrying extra clothes for some reason, and socks was one of those things. I'd change my socks halfway through my round, or if it was raining, I'd carry maybe an extra pair of socks. Just like
Did you do that
on
on the 10th tee? You just kind of
whip them off and go at it. And
fair enough.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. There's some weird crap in there.
You know what? I think everybody probably has their own thing, and I mean, it's your pockets. Do whatever you want with it,
Sure.
and that's why, again, I'd like to hear kind of what people carry. I have a few more elements in there.
All right.
Clothing wise, I do have a wind shirt generally that I play in there for sure. Water bottle, obviously. Snacks, kind of like fig date bars. What do you carry for snacks?
Cashy granola bars. It's the Cashy honey almond granola bars. To buy
Not
them,
the one-
honestly,
not the
honest
one-
to God, they're the granola bar of choice in this house. We buy them about
They're
20
good.
boxes at a time.
Yeah, but not the ones with chocolate in them, because obviously they melt. Or
Oh, chocolate.
okay, just no. There's cashy bars with chocolate.
Yeah,
chips in
no,
them.
there's no chocolate.
People have to realize
listen,
they're a disaster
listen.
halfway through a round, especially in this heat.
If you carry chocolate in your golf bag when you're
It's not
playing
a good
golf,
idea.
you are a goof.
You're a courting disaster.
I love all of our listeners and all of our viewers. I love our audience of podcast followers. But if you have chocolate in your golf bag and you don't have ice packs in there with it, like if you don't got a coolie bag hanging off your cart with ice packs in there to keep the chocolate from melting, you're a goof. Like, what are you doing? If you want a chocolate bar that bad, buy it off the friggin' food cart in the middle of the round when it's, oh gosh.
Yeah.
I've seen that before. I don't, and bananas. People do this. Put them in a Tupperware container. I saw somebody pull a banana out of their golf bag the other day, like just a banana. And this thing was like so brown. Maybe it's not rotten. It's only rotten on the outside, but it's so brown and squishy. It's like, what are you doing?
Don't
It's not
judge.
a protein shake.
So don't judge. Maybe people like it that way.
Oh,
Other items I might have in there, alignment sticks are usually in my bag, obviously from a practice session standpoint. Small items would be medical tape. Occasionally have in there because you never know when you're going to need it. Maybe got a blister, a cut, something like that. Always good for an emergency. Occasionally you'll find my Apple AirPods in there. Use those for practice. Now, I use those in practice just for putting, and I generally have one in there not 2, because I like to still hear the sound of the ball in the face, because that is feel, that equates to feel. So I'll occasionally have those in there, maybe just so I can actually get practice in, so people just don't come over and bug you and want to,
because that does happen.
Yeah, and then the couple other items that I have in there that people probably won't think about. I have ghost holes in there, which
Really?
are, yeah. So basically, it's just a little pouch with a couple of plastic circles that are in there, same size as a golf hole. And I use those just to, when you go onto the putting green, don't necessarily always have the putting cups where you want them to be, or the putting green tends to be busy.
Mhm.
So I like to have them in there. That's a carryover from caddying and stuff like that. And I can put those ghost holes wherever I want and just putt to them. I can set up my own location. And then occasionally I also have a putting string line that's in there as well, which is kind of 2 sticks, string in between. I use that for warm-up stuff and just some basic stuff. But that's a lot.
Yeah,
That's a lot.
It is quite a bit. If I had putting string line, it would be to get food out of my teeth.
That's what isn't that what the paperclip is for?
No, the paperclip is look at the paperclip is a versatile tool. There's a lot of things
sure.
that paperclip could be used for. Getting a sliver out of your finger.
Just put the tape over it.
Yeah, I don't know. I honestly, maybe the paperclip started back.
Maybe it's just a good luck thing now.
I don't know. Maybe it was by accident, and I just.
Whatever the case,
really?
I'd love to hear.
Yes, we would
have in their bag, especially if it's something unusual. So let us know in the comments, whether it's here on YouTube, send us a DM, post it on Twitter, Instagram, wherever you want. We'd love to hear what you carry in your golf bag, and especially if it's something unusual or something smart.
Yeah,
there's probably something that we've never thought of to carry in a golf bag that you should probably carry in your golf bag.
Yeah.
But I think this gives a nice overall picture, for those emerging golfers new to the game, of kind of what's in the golf bag besides clubs, for lower handicap players, PGA professionals, and what they might find in there, because these are pretty much a lot of these are pretty standard things.
Yeah, awesome. I love it. This is a great little segment. This product launch segment is a great little segment. And it's a great little segment to have closed the show off on.
You got it.
Now, I got a great idea. Since we're closing, we just did this, and we do want feedback. I got a great opportunity. This is the last chance that anybody has to enter the flagstick.com YouTube channel contest. And here's a great opportunity for you. We said you got to leave a comment on an episode, and you got to leave the comment, I want to win free stuff. So here's what you do now. You go to the Flagstick channel on YouTube. You check out this episode. If you're listening, check out this episode. If you're already watching this, you're clicking on it on flagstick.com or however you're getting there. Leave a comment telling us what else you have in your bag. Some unique things. Tell us what's going on in there. And at the end of that, put I want to win free stuff too.
Sure.
And we'll enter you into the contest to win the Cleveland RTX Zip Cord Wedge, Cleveland Frontline Putter, or a dozen Srixon golf balls. But this is the last chance you have to do that. Not going to extend the contest by another week. We need to make a draw. People want to win the free stuff. So we got to give the free stuff away, and we have it here to do that. So Flagstick channel, YouTube, check out any video. But if you're watching this one, leave a comment as to what else is in your bag. And at the end of that, just put, I want to win free stuff. And you're in the draw, and maybe we draw your name. Maybe we don't, but who cares? At least we find some stuff that's in your golf bag, and we can talk about it on the air. Who knows? We're not going to laugh at you. We're going to laugh with you.
100%.
Oh, absolutely. 100%. Okay. We're going to get out. It's been another great episode of Flagstick Podcast. Some cool things that we talked about. We're going to try to keep bringing that stuff to you. We want to thank our sponsors, Metcalf Golf Club, Golf Sim Gurus, Greensmere Golf and Country Club, Kevin Haim Golf School, and of course our presenting sponsor this week, Srixon Golf Balls. Whether you're looking for a premium urethane option in the Z-Star Series, a quality budget option in the soft deal, or somewhere in between with the 2-star tour, Srixon Golf is bound to present an option for you that will work for your game. visit strixon.ca for more information. As always, we are hoping that you are enjoying what you're listening to and what you're watching. Be sure to follow us across all social media networks, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Subscribe to us on Apple Podcast, Spotify, and Audible. Don't forget to subscribe, as I said, to the YouTube channel. Like us and click that notification bell to make sure you never miss a single episode. Get yourself over to flagstick.com. Every day, more amazing golf content brought to you. That's what we work for. That's what we do. So get there. As always, we appreciate you tuning in. But until the next episode, I am Jeff Potter.
I'm Scott Mccloud.
Always remember, go for the stick.